Ladies and gentlemen, I am back with another video, and today's video is about Kyrie Irving possibly leaving the Brooklyn Nets for either the Los Angeles Lakers, the Los Angeles Clippers, or the New York Knicks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this right here is the tweet that I was talking about, and you already know if the tweet comes from Shams or from Woj, I'm gonna believe it. Because the two guys that I trust the most when it comes to NBA news is Woj or Shams. And when Woj or Shams says it, I'm believing it. I don't care what anybody says. Now, when I first heard the news, I was like, whoa, is this actually really happening? Well, like I just said a while ago, as long as it comes from Shams or Woj, I'm gonna believe it. But it's only a possibility. Like, we already know that the Brooklyn Nets didn't give Kyrie that extension. So there might actually be a chance that he's actually leaving the Nets. Or he might, just re-sign there eventually again. Because we already had some instances where Kyrie said that he would stay on a team, then eventually leave the team. An example of this was when he was on the Cavaliers and a kid asked him, "Hey Kyrie, are you gonna leave us like LeBron did?" And Kyrie said no, which is understandable because you do not want to crush the dreams of a kid. Like, I think it was like 10 or 11, the kid was 10 or 11. And if you tell a kid that, nah, I'm leaving, like, bro, I think it's just gonna break his heart. But, so I kind of understand Kyrie there. And I'm not gonna lie, Kyrie was on the hot seat on that one. Like, imagine a fan, a young fan, bro, a kid, and he asks you, for instance, like what I'm doing on YouTube. Like, for example, he's a fan of mine. If a kid asks me, "Hey, are you ever gonna quit doing YouTube or reactions or basketball takes?" And of course, that's a hot seat for me, bro, because I do not want a kid's hopes and dreams to be crushed. So I'm just gonna tell him, yeah. I'm just gonna tell him, yeah. You don't want to hurt a kid's feelings, bro. You don't want to crush. You don't want to crush their dreams, bro. Bro, like, I understand Kyrie on that situation. That was so he was on the hot seat for that one. Like, for example, let's think of an old NBA player. Let's think about Andre Iguodala. Like, if a young fan of Iguodala ask him, "Hey, you're still gonna play basketball, right?" And Iguodala's gonna be on the hot seat for that one, bro. Like, he's probably just gonna tell him, "Yeah, bro, I understand. I understand Kyrie on that." Now, the other time that Kyrie told the fans that he was gonna stay in the franchise was with the Celtics. I remember that. Like, he announced to the Boston Celtics crowd that I'll be back or something like I'll resign next season. And then the next season he moved to Brooklyn. So yes, there are times that Kyrie Irving is a really complicated dude, but I don't judge him. It's his life. If he wants to leave, he leaves, okay? And he's a grown man, bro. Like, if he makes his own decisions. Now, I also understand why Kyrie said that he wanted to re-sign with the teams that I mentioned, like the Celtics and the Cavs. But after a time, like after a season, and you reflect, like, is this really the right decision for me? Is this really the right team for me? Those are the kind of things that tend to pop up during in the minds of NBA players. Like, of course, they got to think about if the teams are actually good for them, if the team fits them, or if they're happy on their team. Now, that's why I don't judge Kyrie, and he has the right to make the decision. Because we also don't know how the team or the franchise is affecting the player. So I don't judge NBA players who say that they're just gonna, re-sign with the team, and then suddenly after a few months they leave the team. I don't. It's their choice. It's their choice. And there are a lot of toxic NBA fans who like burn jerseys and just hate on the player after leaving their teams. But NBA fans really need to understand that it's their choice, and there are a lot of things that we don't know about the NBA players. A lot of things can happen after a few months of reflecting and deciding if the team is right for them. So as NBA fans, we gotta understand and support them. No hating, bro. It's 2022. No hating. That's not cool at all. Hating was never cool at all. No matter what the year was, hating was never cool. Now, to talk about the rumors. Now, if you think of the situation that the Brooklyn Nets are in right now, I see Kyrie Irving as a superstar. Kyrie Irving is an amazing and talented player, and I am blessed to witness his greatness on the basketball court. But if you think about the Brooklyn Nets situation, Kyrie Irving missed a lot of games for them. He missed 50% of the games, or like half of the games, and it was mostly because of the injuries. He was held back for a whole season because of an injury. And of the C word. I'm not gonna say the C word because YouTube doesn't like that. But when Kyrie Irving plays basketball for the Brooklyn Nets, he's been amazing for them. He has had a lot of epic performances for the Brooklyn Nets, especially with the 2021 playoffs where he just went down with an injury. And honestly, if Kyrie and James Harden were 100%, the Brooklyn Nets are 1000% making the NBA Finals. That's my opinion. That's my opinion. Now, with that being said, I understand the Brooklyn Nets. Like, Kyrie Irving is an amazing player, but he's missed a lot of games. And when he does play this season, it's mostly during away games since Brooklyn has this rule if you're not vaccinated you can't play. So yeah, I understand the Brooklyn Nets that they wanna, find somebody new to replace. Now I understand that a lot of fans are gonna say like, yeah, they're not gonna get rid of Kyrie because if Kevin Durant wants Kyrie to play for the Brooklyn Nets, the front office won't get rid of him. They won't get rid of Kyrie. And other than that, the Brooklyn Nets gave away their young prospects for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Do you guys remember that Brooklyn Nets team with D'Angelo Russell, Jarrett Allen, Karis LeVert, and Jared Dudley? Like, bro, that was such a fun team to watch. Like, especially the bench celebrations, bro, where they were just like dancing on the bench every time every time their teammate makes a three. Like, bro, that team was so fun to watch. Like, oh man, I'm not gonna lie, that was a really good team. And they were really promising. Like, they had the potential to become superstars. Like, D'Angelo Russell was an NBA All-Star that season. Jarrett Allen just became an NBA All-Star this season. And Karis LeVert has been balling out for Indiana before the season ended. And, oh my, that team was just so fun to watch, bro. And don't forget that they had Joe Harris, too. Now, the Brooklyn Nets got rid of the young core to sign Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And I don't blame them for that. Because that was an opportunity for them. Like, they had an opportunity to make a super team with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Durant. And the next season, they got James Harden, bro. That's 3 Hall of Famers. Those are 3 NBA legends. 3 of the best NBA scorers that we have ever seen, bro. Like, bro, it's understandable. And with that, I understand why a lot of NBA fans are saying that, yeah, there's no way that Kyrie Irving is leaving. Because the Brooklyn Nets gave up so much for them. I don't think that the Brooklyn Nets will just allow him to leave like that. But I also understand the front office for the Brooklyn Nets because Kyrie Irving has missed a lot of games, and understandably so, they need a player who can play for the rest of the season. I honestly feel bad for Brooklyn Nets fans because, there are a lot of things that are probably going through your mind right now because you traded your young core, and if Kyrie Irving leaves, like, I think that's just the beginning of the downfall again for the Brooklyn Nets. Because if you think about it, with all the things that are happening with the organization, I won't be surprised if all the things that are happening that are negative, Kevin Durant might want to leave as well. So basically, you sacrificed a lot of potential with the 2019 team to get these NBA superstars in Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and James Harden, and it might all just go to waste if they all want to leave because James Harden already left, Kyrie might leave, and if Kevin Durant isn't happy anymore, he might leave too. So yeah, I feel really bad for Brooklyn. Now, personally, I think it would go like a Kyrie Irving would start for the rest of the season and probably have a sign-in trade. I don't know, there are a lot of possibilities that just might happen. Now, I think that Kyrie Irving has been asking for a maximum contract and the Brooklyn Nets are just like declining it, which is understandable because for the whole 3 years that Kyrie Irving has been on the Nets, it's just been a mystery because we've never really seen the full display of Kyrie Irving as a Brooklyn Net. If you think about it, like, now I said that he had a lot of awesome performances, incredible performances for the Brooklyn Nets, but in winning a championship, like, we didn't see the Brooklyn Nets make a finals run. And honestly, to me, that's just sad because the team had so much potential in becoming a dynasty. But, a lot of things happened that also prevented that. There is just a lot of risk in signing Kyrie Irving. So anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. Thank you guys so much for watching.